Centralized exchanges are beginning to transition to decentralized exchanges. And with me is DJ Chen, the CEO at Chainge Finance, to explain a little bit about this transition from, of course, we think centralized is what we're all used to, but decentralized is happening as well. So explain overall how the market is changing.
Yes, in a recent 10 years, we have seen the shift from the centralized exchange to the decentralized exchange because the different cryptos and the blockchain technologies, they're becoming more and more popular in this world. And you can see the total, if we compare the total market cap, for example, Nasdaq, I have checked the total market cap in Nasdaq is about 17 trillion. And
you mean of all the companies listed?
Yeah.
17 trillion, okay.
Yes, about 17 trillion.
Okay.
But for the cryptos, it grew from 0 to about 1 trillion today. And actually, it was about 3 to 4 trillion 2 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, I know. We've seen the price go down, yeah.
Yeah. But recently, 1 trillion is something, right? It's not nothing. So it's something. And the number of the companies listed on Nasdaq is about 4,400. But if we look up the coin market cap, the number of the tokens listed in coin market cap, it's around 10,000.
So 10,000 tokens.
Yes, 10,000 tokens.
Yeah. Now we have seen some hacks of these decentralized exchanges. There's been some issues. I mean, do you think that will get better? Is that something? I mean, how is that part of this issue going to be fixed?
Yeah, I think the risk is always there. Even if when we look at the centralized exchanges, we always see a lot of hacks. The assets in the centralized exchanges, they are stolen. Because, in the centralized world, even in a crypto world, if you are going to trade in the centralized exchanges, actually you are depositing your assets in the centralized exchanges. And your assets is not in your custody, it's in the centralized exchange's custody. But in the decentralized world, everybody, they have their assets on their own, in their own address. So users, they have their own control of all the assets. So in terms of that, I think the decentralized exchanges, theoretically, it's more secure than the centralized exchanges because there is a single failure point for the centralized exchanges.
I see, right, yeah.
But for the decentralized exchanges, we definitely have heard about some hacks. But the market is becoming more and more mature. The hacks were because the code was not handled properly, and the hackers, they feel there are some leaks and the backhoes and the code was not developed properly. That's the reason a lot of hacks, they take advantage of this and steal the assets out from the DEX. But for the decentralized exchanges today, we barely see that the exchanges like Uniswap and other decentralized exchanges, they have problem with their code. So when we see there are some good practice we can follow, like every decentralized exchanges, they have to have some audit before they release. So I think we will see less and less hacks.
And I think they'll figure it out as time goes on as well. Now, another issue is just ease of use.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it is really difficult. And I'm kind of in this world a bit. And, I'm still kind of like, you got to go through MetaMask and a pancake swap. And if you want to get, so,
you know a lot.
So it's difficult. And a lot of people are just not going to spend that time. So how does that get fixed as well?
Yeah, so it's just like the early stage of internet. I still remember in 1990s when the first time I used internet, I have to plug in some modem and trying to log in and do a lot of stuff.
That's right, it took forever. Yeah.
Yes, so there will be a lot of tools, just like today, the MetaMask and other wallets. Actually, there's just some tools. So these tools are becoming more and more mature, just like Chainge Finance, we have already seen a lot of internet companies, they trying to improve the user experience so that we can have a lot of good application today like DoorDash.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
I think how easy Amazon makes,
Yes,
just
exactly.
buy things. It's like just one click and you've got, I feel like, maybe that's what will happen in this. And speed and cost. That seems kind of all over the place. I've heard a lot of quotes about speed, very fast. I mean, is that accurate? Are these transactions taking place really quickly?
Yeah. So the swaps or the tradings on the chain, comparing to the centralized exchanges, it's much slower today because it depends on the speed of the blockchain today. And most of the blockchains, the block confirmation time is around 10 seconds or 15 seconds or even longer. For example, Bitcoin, it takes about 10 minutes for one block to be confirmed. But steadily we can see a lot of more public blockchains like Polygon and some layer 2 public blockchains. They have 1 second block confirmation time or 3 seconds block confirmation time. It will improve the speed of trading very quickly.
Okay.
And for Chainge, actually we are also focusing on the speed of the trading because today a lot of users, they are also they have problem when they are trying to swap across different chains because today there are a lot of tokens, they are deployed on different chains.
That's right.
Even if they are a single stable coin, for example USDC, it is deployed on more than 10 different chains today. But if you want to swap, you have to make your assets cross to another chain in a very short period of time. But today, the facility is not that good. We are trying to build a kind of very fast cross-chain speed, just within 1 minute. You can have your assets from different chains to send to one chain instantly, so that we can aggregate the liquidity among different chains.
Yeah. Now, would you describe your company as an exchange, or are you more kind of like an aggregator of different exchanges, and you're helping people trade tokens back and forth?
Yeah, we are a cross-chain liquidity aggregator.
Okay.
So just like when you look at Expedia, actually they are aggregating the offers from different airline companies and give you the personalized, customized, very cheap airline flight ticket, right? But in Chainge, we are doing the same. We are doing the same. We are aggregating liquidity among different chains, and we can split your swap into fractions and execute it on different chains simultaneously.
Got it.
So that's what we are trying to build.
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of other aggregators, but they only can work on one chain at the same time. But what we are trying to build is that we can aggregate all the liquidity among all the chains, so that we can always provide the best price for the users when they are trying to swap.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, DJ, for coming by and explaining this. It feels like the world is changing, and you're a part of that. So thank you so much.
I hope I could be part of it.
Thank you, DJ.
Thank you, Jane.
Jordy Vanderburser has become a YouTuber that's actually built a business around it. So, which I know is difficult to do. So Jordy is with me now to explain how exactly you did that. When did you start on YouTube?
I started 10 years ago as a hobby. It was just for fun. And then before I knew it, people really enjoyed what I was doing, and it just all blew up.
Now you have a studio and some digital specialists. So how did you get from just kind of starting for fun to where you are now?
Yeah, very quickly realized that running a YouTube channel can become very complicated. So you definitely want to have people helping you out. You want to delegate a bunch of tasks. And that's what I started doing. And before I knew it, I also thought, hey, why don't we go and help out other people, other companies, other businesses.
So you're helping these people also promote their brand. You're calling them VTubers, right?
Yes,
so what does that stand for?
A VTuber is a virtual influencer. So I'm a real person, you're a real person, we're real influencers. But a virtual influencer is more of like an avatar. So it is not a real person, but it still does everything that a real influencer would be doing.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I'll have to come up with one of those. It might have more success than I do. And you have the studio, and you're in Amsterdam, correct? So is everything based in Amsterdam?
Not everything is based in Amsterdam. Our headquarters are in Amsterdam, but we have people all over the world. We have people in Australia, we have people in America, in Canada, but everything comes together in Amsterdam, yes.
Okay, got it. And what kind of content are they producing?
We're currently producing a bunch of content for a plethora of brands, and we mainly focus on short format content. So we've seen a lot of success with TikTok, with YouTube Shorts, with Instagram Reels, and that's what we really try to focus on, to position brands on these social media platforms.
Got it. Interesting. Perhaps we'll be taking this into the metaverse, correct?
Yes.
Okay, explain. Have you started that yet? What's your strategy?
Yeah, so to be a celebrity, to be an influencer in a digital world, you can't really enter this digital world as a real person. You need to have a virtual avatar there. So that's why we're creating these virtual influencers, so that when this so-called metaverse, we don't know what it's going to be, but we know it's digital. So once it's there, we have the foundation for it with all these different characters.
And you've got the characters already, so you're just kind of taking them into the metaverse. Now, you mentioned TikTok and YouTube Shorts. How has social media allowed you to have a business? Without social media, you wouldn't have been able to do this, correct?
Yes, 100%. And I'm so grateful for it. I love being on social media. I love entertaining people. And it's such a new industry, only a few years old. So it's unreal.
So what is the future then for VTubers, for metaverse, for your studio, for you, the influencers? Where do you see things going from here?
So what we're really going to be focusing on is helping brands grow online. We see a lot of brands either aren't on these social media platforms, or they don't really know what to do. And I think that within 5 to 10 years, some of the biggest influencers in the world are going to be virtual. They're not going to be real, because it solves so many problems compared to what we have right now.
Interesting. What kind of problems does it solve?
So currently we're having a one-on-one chat here. That means I can't be in a different place. I can't be performing in Japan, for example. But if I was virtual, I could be at 100 different places all at the same time, working 24/7. So it's a very easy way to scale.
Very interesting. And I have a feeling like it's going to be a whole new world over the next 10 years with this. How can somebody find out more, Jordi?
You can check us out on social media, JVDB Studios.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, and best of luck.
Thank you. You too.
Four years ago, when I started my software company, most people told me it was too risky because the market was too crowded. Those people were primarily experts and business executives or investors. But last year, my company was valued at $150 million. This year, we reached over $15 million in annual recurring revenue. And we've achieved that in just 4 years in a super competitive market. The main lesson I've got from that experience: don't listen to experts and make your own rules. For those who don't know me, my name is Guillaume Moubesh and I own Lampire, a $150 million software company. I grew my first product, Lemlist, past 15 million in annual recurring revenue in just 4 years, and sold my first company after growing it to $600,000 in less than a year. In many cases, the companies that didn't listen to expert advice are the ones that succeeded the most. Google was launched in a crowded market without the first mover advantage. Nevertheless, they surpassed Alta Vista, the best web search engine on the market at the time, within a few years. Zoom entered a saturated market with a solo founder. In only 10 years, the company was valued at $100 billion with over 600 million daily active users. Canva's founder was rejected by hundreds of VCs and investors for 3 whole years before launching her business. Today, the company's valuation crossed $26 billion. They didn't give up because they faced some challenges. They didn't give up because some people told them they wouldn't make it. That's too easy. Instead, they took a risk because they knew their products could help people all over the world. You've got competition, that means that the product market fit is there. You're not the first company to provide that service. You need to be better than others. You've been rejected by tens of VCs. The next one might help you become a billion-dollar company. The key to success is definitely not to listen to experts. It's to do one thing. Focus on the problem you want to solve. Because to build a successful company, you need to help people save time or make more money in a better way than everyone else. With Lempire, we focus on helping people make more money. Purchasing our product is an investment and not a cost. In the last years of growing multiple businesses, the main lesson I've learned is that sales is a transfer of belief across a ladder of trust. When you do sales, you believe that you can help your prospects solve a specific problem they have. But for them to allow you to help them, they need to trust you. Whenever you need to sell something to other people, trust is involved. Take going to a restaurant, for example. You need to trust the restaurant to serve you food that will not make you sick or kill you. This ladder is composed of 3 elements: targeting, messaging, and credibility. Targeting is how you identify and solve your prospects' problems and needs. Credibility is the way you demonstrate your expertise in a specific field. Messaging is how you convey the value people will get from your product or service. In a business, if any side of the ladder is missing, things will eventually break. And as a result, you won't be able to help your prospect because there will be no trust. When I started my first product, Lemless, years ago, focusing on those 3 key elements helped me differentiate my product in a saturated market. And the best way to validate those 3 elements was by building a sales community on Facebook, because it helped us do multiple things. 1, identify people's problem and needs to create solution inside the product. 2 was to connect like-minded people with similar problems who could help each other out with actionable content. 3 was to build meaningful relationship with our community members. And 4, show the value of our product and services through other members' testimonials and valuable content. In a few years, it became the most significant sales community in the world with over 20,000 members. And whether they were Lempire clients or not, the value in the community lies for the members in helping each other out. Through this community, we could identify and take action on our prospect problems, which answers the targeting part of the ladder. As for the messaging, the content shared in the community is an overview of the value members could get from our products and services. Building a community of more than 20,000 experts was also proof of our credibility. And finally, providing real value to your audience and showing them that you care about their success will earn their trust. Today, I'm glad I didn't listen to experts' advice, because I was able to help tens of thousands of people with my products and services. And in my opinion, that's what really matters. If you focus on solving people's problems by building relationships and being better than others, there are high chances you'll become successful, because your prospect will want to buy from you, and most importantly, want to stick with you. So take some risk by making your own rules.
Real Messenger is a social app for real estate agents that allows them to promote themselves for free, and it's got a commerce as well as a social aspect to it. So with me is Frederick Eklund and Thomas Ma, the co-founders of Real. And let's just start with this. How does Real work? Give me the lowdown. Who wants to take that first? Frederick,
imagine if Zillow, WhatsApp, and Instagram had like a brainchild. Does that tell you something? It's basically the first and best and biggest social media app for real estate. And as you know, there's a lot of static real estate data out there, like a Zillow. But what we do and what we can extract from it, which is so exciting, is the behavior of the real estate agent, the behavior of the seller and the buyer, and the social hotspots. And of course, with Thomas Genius's artificial intelligence, and really present the most beautiful real estate globally to anyone, like a magazine, and you scroll within the app, within your phone. And it's blowing up, 350,000 downloads in just a few months.
In less than a year or so.
Yeah.
And so it's for buyers and sellers of real estate. You've also got a social aspect to it, and then an AI aspect to it as well. So you're gathering data and using that to, I guess, improve the app and improve the real estate experience. So tell me a little bit about the tech behind it.
So we have we are trying to connect with the whole industry. So not just buyers and sellers. So we try to connect with home sellers, home buyers, owners, agents, and all that. Frederick and I, as a real estate agents in professional, we decided to co-found this app to give something to the community as a real estate community as a whole. We asked agents to curate their own content on give assessment on the property, on the listings, or the previous transaction as well, showcasing their ability to close deals. Because we are a messaging app, we have a lot of, we can do a 360 customer 360 on the preferences on every people. So that's why we can create a dynamic data on it, coupled with static data that the industry has on the properties, on the transactions, on the mortgage. Or with that data combined together, we can create a lot of powerful.
And it feels like the real estate industry has been slower than other industries in terms of adapting to all of the new technologies. So this kind of ups the game a little bit.
Yeah, that's why when Thomas approached me, I run the #1 team in the country. I have 100 agents, 13 offices. I have gotten a lot of prop tech on my desk over the last decade. And of course, this really spoke to me because this is something that we on my team, everybody uses now, and how we share listings, how we share off-market listings, how we communicate. And with this new video function Moment, it's really, what Instagram has somewhat, and it really blew up. And during 2020 and the lockdowns, that's how we, as in the industry, started communicating within each other. But Reel is really taking that to the next level. And I think, social media has been on everybody's top of mind for a long time, but there has never been a social media real estate app. Yeah. And I think we all have the real estate bug, right? We all love it so much. What this app does, which no other app does, it's global. Like Zillow, there's a Zillow in every country. For me, for example, I was dreaming of this farmhouse in Tuscany. So what I do, I go in and I look at that in Italy. I find the biggest agents there and how they position and promote themselves. Or I go and I want to look at a beach house in Thailand. So I think that is what's happening to the world, and what, of course, post-pandemic has really accelerated that energy is a global app and a global buyer and seller, and people buying, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth home all over the globe. And this is the app to do that.
Yeah. Now, is this just buying, selling? Are there rentals as well?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, okay. How do you make money?
We are kind of pure your listing, your lead. So we our monetization is about giving products to the stakeholders, home buyers, home sellers, homeowners with data and connection ability to enhance everyone's productivity. So better understanding of which agent is the best for you in that area, or the agent is better understanding if that homeowners can potentially become a home seller. So we will have that kind of products for every stakeholders instead of just standing in between a connection.
We, as real estate agents, we send them our listings. And the listings here, the exclusive listings, are really the assets in all of these platforms, portals, and we send them for free, or they take them for free, but then we have to pay them money. They sell us advertisement for our names to even show up on their site next to our listings. And if we don't, then they sell those leads of direct buyers and sellers to other agents from our listings, if that makes sense. That's their business model. So what we are changing and turning that upside down, if you will, is that, to his points, the listings are the listings of the agents, and the leads are the leads of the agents. So, and I think that's what's so, it's been welcome, this app, in the industry, and that's why it has so much traction and blowing up right now.
And you recently went public at the Nasdaq in a SPAC deal. Describe that.
Yes, we did announce a SPAC merger. So we have big plans, and we feel with a SPAC merger that we announced it, we can grow our company a lot quicker, we feel this is a great time to work with a SPAC and bring us to the market, to the public market, to access the capital market, the right investors, and also the partnership.
Yeah, okay. And Frederick, I want to get your opinion finally on just the real estate market in general. We've seen interest rates increase this year.
No, they've gone down actually quite a lot the last 25 days.
Okay, you're right, but they're much higher than they were a year ago.
Yeah, I think, listen, I am been feeling really good about 23 for a while. You can only see sort of the bottom of the market, real estate market at least, in the back mirror, and I will say October 15, November 1st was the bottom. We are definitely roaring on the East Coast. New York is doing very well. A lot of it is off market right now, and there's a couple of big trend pieces that are about to come out about that. So the data and the media isn't really catching on the off market. There's very little inventory if you look in New York, lower than we had in a long time, but the deals are big and there's a lot of them. Off market, which is why an app like this is very important.
Yeah.
Miami is waking up and doing very, very well. I was just there last week and the deal making there is incredible. LA is a little sleepy still, but I think it's going to happen now. Interest rates have gone down. I'm of the half of the population, people that think that interest rates might be a somewhat lower in the fall at least. And I think, you know, the real estate mentality of the buyers is once you know the buyer's market is behind us and we're slowly shifting into a seller's market again, the COVID discounts are definitely gone, you know, it's time to act. It's time to throw yourself back into the market and buy, and that's what we're seeing now.
Okay. Thank you so much. So interesting to hear about the Real app, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.